Yo, Zen, what is up, homie? You wanted me to go over this replay a while ago. I'm just getting to it now. But yeah, we can discuss some of the things he did wrong this game, and he'll become a stronger player because of it. Sorry about the delay, homie. So we see that he goes for a hatch first. Allows us to go for a Nexus first. Look at how late our Nexus already is. 50 minerals late for no reason. Our probe should just be there. But I do like how you know to go gateway, pylon, and gas before cannon here, because you don't need your cannon that quickly. Good timing on the core. Nexus is done. We're transferring 6 probes. Generally, you only want to transfer 5, but 6 is not that big of a deal. Doing a good job keeping our probe alive. We've seen a layer. So far, so good. Now, we want to make sure we have constant probe production. Little gaps here do actually hurt. And now this is our first major mistake of the game, is we don't have enough gas, and we don't have enough money for our Stargate right away, because our mining wasn't done properly. And because of that, our Stargate is a good 10 seconds later than it should be. We should be getting that Stargate at 4:15, not 4:25. In this matchup, more important than anything else is our timings, right? You need to have timings be super on point if you want to have success in this matchup. Zerg really scales a lot better than Protoss does. So you only have certain windows where, you know, you're really able to punish Zerg. And yeah, being late on our timings is going to make it harder to hit those windows, you know what I mean? So yeah, we want to be sure we're getting the Stargate on time. We do get our +1 at a good time here, but we're also low on our Zealot count. Like, by now we should definitely already have 2 Zealots. You can see that you didn't make one right away afterwards. You know, kind of a problem there. And we get our second gas, we start getting +1 air weapons, which is good. And now, once again, our Stargate finishes, right? And we have this window here where we might be able to pick off an Overlord if we have a Corsair before a Spire. But instead of making a Corsair right away, you decide to go for the Citadel. You always, I mean, we're getting this building to build things out of it. Why aren't we building something out of it right away, right? These tiny little things actually hurt a lot, you know? That's another 5 seconds wasted. So when we should be getting our first Corsair at like 5:05, 5:10, in that gap right there, you got your first Corsair at 5:20. Just pumping out Zealots, that's good. Like the addition of the second gateway. That second gateway should be going down at 5:30, not 5:57. I recommend playing a little bit of single player so you can really get your timings down. You don't want to be late on any of these timings, right? Otherwise it's really going to hurt your build. So this kind of confused me too. You see that he has a Spire, and you cancel your +1, and you cancel making Corsairs. Just so you know, if he had gone Mutalist here, like what are you gonna do, right? Why did we build these 3 cannons? We're just hurting our timing. He's nowhere near being able to push out against us. We have all these Zealots at home. Like, these 3 cannons could be gateways right now, you know? Once again, it's like you're playing scared for no reason here. Now, our legs are done. Sending our Zealots out across the map is good. Putting pressure on the Zerg, forcing Hydralisk to be made. And yeah, there's no way you're getting any damage done there, so you smartly back up. This is where you kind of want to prod a little bit with your zealots. Sending them back down to the natural here would have been a good idea. But you just send him home. Since he's not going to be aggressive at all with its Hydralisk and punish you for that, that's totally fine. So, not bad. Big supply block. Can't be getting supply blocked. Look at all these gateways. Not a single one of your gateways is doing anything right now because we had that huge supply block. Look at our mineral floating super high. This is just sort of a nightmare layout because if you make goons out of this, they're going to be fucking walking around, bumping all over the place. So, definitely work on your base layout. Also, just so you know, Benzene sort of sucks as a map. So, I would just veto it in the future. Like how you're being active with your Corsairs, getting good scouting information. Moving out on the map with your army, you have a pretty good supply lead. I want you to pay attention to how few drones he has. This is something that your Corsairs are really good at spotting, right? When you see this many Hydralisks and you see, oh, he only, you know, he's made a ton of Hydras, right? Like, look at how many he's made. And we've been seeing this with our Corsairs. We've been flying around. If we're active, we can scout all this out. And we can figure out exactly how many Corsairs he has. So, you know, when we see stuff like this, we need to be aware of it. Be aware of the fact that his economy might be, you know, a little bit lower than where it should be at. And it is. He only has 34 drones. Like, we have 52 probes versus 34 drones. What we should be doing right now is just sitting back and macroing out of all our gateways. Look at how often your gateways aren't building things, right? Like, look at this. 2 gateways just not doing anything right now, even though we have the resources. So right now, instead of building out of 8 gateways, we're building out of 5. And I hope I don't have to explain why building out of 5 gateways instead of 8 is bad. This timing here, right? Like, what's this timing about? This guy has no drones for scouting with our Corsairs. If we just fly them, what I recommend doing is when you have your Corsairs, I don't even know what happened to your Corsairs. You might have lost them or something. No, there they are. Just fly them around the bases all the time. That's what you should. That's what Corsairs are for. They're scouting tools. You look at the drones. You see how many drones there are. If I was playing, I would be flying over the main right now. Oh, he's going high already? What? And I'd be looking here. Oh my God, he's got no drones. Flying over. Look at that. Barely any drones. He's barely saturated on any of his bases. And then I would say, okay, since his hive is just now starting, I have, you know, another 2 minutes before there's going to be a real scary Zerg army of, like, Darkswarm and shit. So what I would do is I would wait back at home, use all my gateways. Once again, look at how many of our gateways aren't building things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 dead gateways right now. These are, like, look how much money we have. All these could be building a round of Gims. We could be gearing up for this big timing. And look at how shit this map is. 1,000 minerals here. It's just so hard to take your third gas in this map. You really need to go Sair Reaver. So I would just ban this map because Sair Reaver is super hard to play at a lower level. Now, I mean, with all that said, this is still, we have 2 storms, 2 storms, 2 storms, 1 storm, 1 storm. So that means we have 8 storms here. So first, I mean, we're going to focus on this attack a little bit here because this is what loses you the game. When you have an army that is, you know, mostly Hydralisks, why would you give the Hydras all this room to hit you from multiple angles? You should be going up here to this base where it's going to be a tight choke. Reinforcements are going to be bunched up here. He can't get a huge surround on you. And then you can just storm so many times, and you can bust this base here. Even though you shouldn't even be attacking, you could easily bust this base right now if you just attacked up this ramp. Super simple. Instead, for some reason, we decide to go here and attack this base. Still looks like a winnable fight almost, right? Like, you have a lot of units here. There's not that many Hydras. You're 1-1. Your High Templar are really far behind, so this hurts you a lot because you don't have any High Templar for this fight, and your Zealots take a lot of damage before your High Templar even get there. Now, finally our High Templar are showing up to this battle. We need to be coding this whole thing. Boom, boom, boom. 3 big storms. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. And all these Hydras are fucked. Then we need another storm up here, where the reinforcements are coming down. Right? When you're fighting as Protoss, what you should be doing is, like, 90% of your focus should be on your storms. Now, I want you to look at these storms. And I want you to tell me if you think these are good storms. Okay. Finally, the first decent storm right there. High Templar with 2 storms, unused. Right, let's take a look at that fight one more time. Just to show you how bad it was. How bad you took this fight. Because I think it's really important when you take a bad fight to recognize why it was so bad. Okay. Slow storms. Miss. Oh, on our own Zealots. No storms on the north side. No storms behind. Now imagine if, instead of this, we go up here and we storm the fuck out of these Hydras right away. And all these Hydras have to come reinforcing up here, right? Where they have to go over this bridge and reinforce when you're already up here and you have High Templar just sitting there, storming them. Also, like, you can't miss storms. Like, this is a crucial storm right here. The storms up here are needed, crucial. Like, that's an okay storm. Double storm there. Just a really bad fight. But yeah, I mean, after that, like, I love that. Love the DAP macro. Get in his head a little bit. But, like, after you lose this fight, the game's pretty much over. He's on 5 bases now. He's got a good drone count, and he has Hive. And you've got nothing going for you. So, like, you're pretty dead. I do like how you try to take 2 bases. Do whatever opportunity you can to get back in the game. You constantly need to make sure that you're protecting your bases, though. I mean, like, can't be losing our bases. But yeah, I mean, this match sucks. Your fucking third only gets 1,000 minerals per patch, and your third gas is a fucking mile away. So yeah, unless you're going Sail Reaver, this map is dog shit. And I wouldn't go Sail Reaver if I was just starting. I would just veto the map and play on, you know, a couple different maps. But yeah, really, that's your big problem. Make sure your big takeaways from this game should be, make sure you're constantly macroing out all your gateways. This is a huge problem with lower level players, where they spam a shitload of units out of some gateways, and then they just don't even bother to click on other ones, because they're not actually thinking, they're rushing, they're panicking. StarCraft needs to be a flow. It can't be herky-jerky, or you're just going to get fucking rolled by better players. So that's one. Make sure your gateways are constantly doing things. Make sure you have a good build and you know your timings. Like, don't let your first Corsair be 10-15 seconds late for no reason. Make sure you're constantly scouting with your Corsairs when you get them, right? Check the drone counts, check the layer timing, check the hive timing, all that. And then finally, when you take a fight, make sure you take it in advantageous locations. Against Zerg loves getting big surrounds off. That's good for them. Protoss likes fighting in tight chokes. I mean, at least early on in the game before you get big goon armies up. But like right here, this is a nice tight choke where all the Hydras have to funnel in. You have perfect storm area all around this shit. And you're fighting right next to his drone line, so you might even be able to get some storms here, you know? Stuff like that is what you have to be thinking about. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Hopefully this helps. Good luck in the future, man. And also, yeah, just hit me up whenever you have questions, and I'm happy to help.